In the rural areas of Brazil, a growing fear is sweeping across the land. Giant wild boar herds, with their razor-sharp tusks, are not just ravaging the fields, but putting entire communities on edge. These monsters are not only intelligent, but also incredibly aggressive. They destroy crops and threaten the livelihoods of farmers. Faced with the scale of the destruction, we, those determined to protect the peace of this village, have set out to confront this danger head-on. Before dawn, the hunting truck roars across the rugged roads, heading toward the Cerrado fields. By 6 o'clock a.m., fully equipped, we arrive and immediately take our pre-discussed positions. Amidst the busy scene, Nick quickly spots movement in the tall grass. As soon as the shadow emerges, the bullet flies through the air, hitting the target with deadly precision. The massive beast hiding within no longer poses a threat to the land. The successful strike ignites the fighting spirit within our team as we prepare for the challenges ahead. Under the blazing sun, we continue our hunt. Our legs are weary, but our vigilance is sharper than ever. After a brief rest, we spot a boar moving quietly back to its den. Without hesitation, I pull the trigger, and the shots ring out. Though the wild boar is fast, it can't outrun the accuracy of our trained fire. Another reward for our relentless practice. We continue scanning the area, and suddenly, a figure appears. As the boar charges out, there's no second thought. My finger tightens on the trigger. With a single shot, the wild boar drops instantly. Quick reflexes and precision have helped me complete the mission, protecting the area from further destruction. We receive a report of wild boar activity at the edge of the field. This time, we can't afford to be careless. We rush to the area, but before we get close, the boar sprints away like the wind. Nick and I immediately give chase, and with the assistance of our hunting dogs, we close the distance. In a show of teamwork, Nick takes the shot. This winning shot shifts the balance of power, subduing the wild beasts once again. Another victory, thanks to perfect coordination. As we enter the area where wild boars often appear, it doesn't take long to spot them. Our rifles are ready, waiting for the perfect moment. The shots ring out, and even though the boar tries to escape, it's no match for the precision of experienced hunters. Another hard-won victory, sending a clear message to the destructive wild boars that they won't be welcome here anymore. The safety of the fields remains intact. As the evening sun sets, our steps grow heavy, but we press on, determined to find the remaining boars lurking in the fields. The open spaces give us the advantage, making it easier to spot them hiding. In the end, the last targets are brought down, and the area is secured. The villagers can now breathe a sigh of relief, knowing the wild boars will no longer threaten their livelihoods.
Boom! Chris collapsed instantly. We were preparing for our hunting trip when the wild boar charged like a raging storm. Everything hit us out of nowhere. Before we could catch our breath, the hunt had already begun. There was no room for hesitation this time, because every second of delay could cost a life. Chris was taken back to the village. Our team quickly geared up. Motorboats, binoculars, compasses, guns. For the battle ahead, a battle on the water. All of it for our friend, and for the safety of the village. Today's hunting grounds were the water canals near the village, but we weren't after fish this time. We were hunting wild boars. Believe it or not, these boars had come here to bathe and escape the heat. The danger was so close, making this hunt even more intense. Our boat moved quietly through the calm water, the air still. Nobody spoke much, holding our breath, staying alert. And there it was, one dark shape floating peacefully in the cool water, completely unaware of the price it would soon pay. I locked my sights on the target. Holding my breath, I squeezed the trigger. The boar darted, but it was already too late. The perfect shot took it down. It was a shot worthy of a perfect score. But that was just the opening shot. The real hunt was just getting started. The chaos of gunfire quickly alerted the rest of the herd. They broke free from the canal and took cover in the sparse trees nearby. From where we were, the large dark shapes came into view, a clever hiding tactic, but too bad for them, they'd run into us. Edged closer, finding the perfect angle to strike. Boom! Our team fired in unison. The lead boar was brought down in an instant. The herd scattered in panic. We couldn't let them get away. Plan B kicked in immediately, closing in on them, finishing the job. Soon, we intercepted the herd, taking down several more shadowy figures. A clear message sent to anyone who dares to destroy. We pushed on, moving further down the canal. Another sluggish shape appeared, quickly becoming a target. We moved in carefully, closing the distance. I wanted to maximize our chances. Suddenly, the boar sensed the danger and tried to flee up the bank. No choice but to strike. I pulled the trigger fast. The boar dropped instantly. No escape. Once you cross into our territory, you pay the price. The sun was getting hotter. We continued down the river, searching for shaded areas, ideal hiding spots for the boars. The next challenge was sniping from a distance. A splash of water could send the prey running. The boar appeared. I aimed, locked the target. There was no room for error. Boom! The shot rang out, taking the boar down instantly. It seemed easy, but without precise aim, failure was a real threat. Seeing how slow this method was, we switched to Plan C. The hunting dogs were released, flushing the boars toward us. The sound of barking echoed through the air, drawing our team's attention. We closed in fast. A volley of shots rang out, and the boar was brought down in the blink of an eye. In the afternoon, Kevin had managed to get a boat, and our hunting area expanded. The river was now our hunting ground. Our boat zipped through the water, determined not to let any target escape. The engine's sound startled the boars. One tried to make a break for it, hiding among the thick reeds. My heart raced, focused on the barrel of my gun. It wasn't going anywhere. I squeezed the trigger. Headshot. The boar dropped, immobilized. A dramatic chase. Thrilling, right? Let us know in the comments if you felt a rush. As we began to tire and the sun started to set, we prepared to return to the village. But you know what? Wild boars can show up when you least expect them. Always stay alert. Suddenly, a dark shape shot past us. We closed in quickly, trapping the target. With the speed of our boat, there was no chance for escape. We fired. A burst of bullets tore through the air, and the boar tried to flee from the grip of death. But in the end, it fell to the barrel of our guns, wrapping up a long and challenging day of hunting. The destructive wild boars are ravaging crops and invading forests in Russia, but the steel marksmen are ready to confront them. Every bullet, every breathless moment is captured vividly, keeping you from looking away. Don't miss it. Watch until the end to witness the most thrilling hunt. Which hunter do you think will take down the most impressive prey? Let's find out right now. The breathless ambush in Chelyabinsk marked the beginning of a brutal battle. John's team moved quietly in their familiar vehicle, quickly entering the forest according to the prearranged plan. A few minutes later, among the trees, a dark figure flashed across John's scope. John got into a ready position, his eyes tracking every movement of the beast. When the moment came, a sharp gunshot rang out, cutting off all attempts of the wild boar to escape. Inside the forest, Bursts of gunfire also echoed one after another, signaling that more targets were being taken down. The hunt in Chelyabinsk had officially begun. James was lying in ambush in silence, waiting for the target to appear. Suddenly, from a distance, a herd of wild boars came charging in front, running in a line across his line of sight. A series of gunshots rang out, taking down the lead boar, but the rest ran too fast and disappeared into the deep forest. Not giving the beasts a chance to escape, James immediately determined their direction and reported the position to his teammates via radio. Right after that, they quickly moved in on the marked location. One member of the team spotted a large, heavy wild boar hiding among the dense trees. Without delay, a gunshot rang out, taking down the boar. Gunfire erupted from all directions. The remaining ones were also taken down one by one. Hunting in the dense forest was already a challenge, but upon reaching the snowy region of Kaluga, everything became even more unforgiving. Thomas's team didn't hesitate. They spread out, surrounding the fields and snowy forest, ready for a life or death battle. At Leon's position, a wild boar suddenly charged out from the forest. Not letting it escape, he pulled the trigger, taking it down with a single shot. But right after, other dark shapes suddenly darted past, leaving Leon no time to react. As soon as he received the signal that the boars had escaped, Thomas immediately used a tracking device to follow their traces. Not long after, a wild boar was found hiding among thick branches. Thomas quickly closed in, then pulled the trigger. The shot rang out decisively, and the boar collapsed on the spot. Another precise shot, another victory marked on the icy Kaluga.
Hunting wild boar in the dead of Siberian winter is no ordinary pursuit. It's a real battle, where every step on the snow could be your last. The brutal wilderness pushes human limits, while the beasts, starving and driven to desperation by the cold, grow fiercer than ever. Word came in from locals. A pack of wild boars had been tearing through the winter grain stores, leaving destruction in their wake. We didn't hesitate. Despite the blizzard, we geared up and headed out, not just to hunt, but to defend the survival of the entire village. Join us as we follow fearless footsteps through the snow, face off in heart-pounding standoffs, and witness moments so intense they'll stop your breath, where the line between hunter and hunted is as thin as a thread. In the biting cold of an early winter morning, we knew this was the golden hour to strike. Hunger was forcing the wild boars out of hiding, making them bold and careless in their search for food. Our strategy was simple but sharp. James and the hounds would drive the boars uphill, flushing them out from below. David and I held our positions as blockers along the ridge, the last line before the open snow trail. Just as planned, the first boar broke through into view, right in our sights. David held his breath. 3 quick shots rang out. The beast collapsed the moment it reached the snow-covered trail. A perfect opening. 1 clean takedown, the kind of start every hunter hopes for on a day like this. The snowfall grew heavier by the minute, blurring our vision and testing the grit of the entire team. James wasn't just pushing from below, he was a mobile spearhead, ready to react to anything the wilderness threw at us. When Boar tried to slip through a thicket ahead, everything went quiet for a moment. Boom! A single shot echoed through the snowy woods. The beast dropped instantly. In these brutal conditions, only instinct and the seasoned eye of a veteran hunter could deliver a shot that clean, that perfect. If you think that was one hell of a shot, go ahead and drop us a like. After days of blizzards, climbing back up the ridge had become too dangerous and exhausting. So, as soon as the weather cleared, we set out again, this time shifting our strategy to an ambush near the open forest edge, a spot where wild boars often roam in search of food. Just 30 minutes after James released the hounds into the woods, our patience paid off. The moment the boar burst from cover, David's shots rang out, sharp, clean, and deadly accurate. The chase was over in seconds. Frequent blizzards forced us to pause the hunt, but when the sun returned, melting the ice and drying the terrain, we knew it was time to move out again. James unleashed his pack of hunting dogs into the familiar forest. Trained by elite warriors, they executed their mission flawlessly. Tracking the GPS, James watched as the massive wild boar was cornered by his skilled hounds, while another managed to slip away deeper into the woods. The trapped beast now faced an inevitable verdict. Boom! The final shot rang out, a clean end to the destruction plaguing the local villagers. The loyalty between the pack and their hunter is an unbreakable bond, one that no danger can sever. An urgent alert from James came through. The boar was fleeing straight toward me. I instantly took my position, ready to block its path. The wild boar appeared. The moment its head came into view, boom! The bullet hit its mark. Boom! This time, the beast collapsed completely at the foot of the hill. Down at the foot of the hill, our teammate Thomas was carefully watching a large wounded wild boar. A wounded animal is always the most dangerous. Its primal survival instincts can turn it into a deadly attacker in an instant. Thomas didn't rush. He kept a safe distance from his higher vantage point. Only when he was certain all risks were controlled did he calmly raise his rifle and squeeze the trigger. Boom! Freeing the boar from its suffering also eased the worries of the villagers. In every battle, calculated caution and careful steps are the keys to defeating any enemy. As evening fell and the hunt seemed to be winding down, a rustle ahead gave away the foolish wild boar. My body instantly went into ready position, steady on the trigger. The moment it appeared and hesitated, that was all I needed to bring down the unlucky creature. Boom! A perfect ending just before darkness settled in. People often ask if we're afraid. Of course we are. We fear the cold, we fear the dangers, but the fear of losing the village's peace is far greater. I pulled out my iPhone 16 Pro and sent the good news instantly. I could almost see the farmers' relieved smiles through the message screen. This mission isn't over yet. Make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of our journey.
Not only foraging for food, wild boars also spread terror across crops and people's lives. Lurking in harsh conditions, they challenge every human limit. But whether it's bone-chilling cold or scorching heat, the hunters grip their rifles tightly, steadfastly advancing into the battlefield, where only grit determines survival. Will they succeed in taking down these beasts? Heart-pounding moments are about to unfold, and don't forget to watch until the end to pick the most unforgettable hunt. In sub-zero cold, Nick's hunting team presses forward through the snowy mountains of France, swiftly taking their assigned positions. Amid the snow-covered forest, a hunter keenly tracks every movement behind the dense trees. Suddenly, a large herd of wild boars appears, moving in an orderly line. Without hesitation, he locks onto the largest, fattest one and pulls the trigger. The target drops instantly, and the herd scatters in panic. The next shot only manages to take down the last boar before the rest vanish into the deep forest. A swift, cold-blooded opening shot kicks off today's challenging hunt. The tracking signal pinpoints the wild boar's location, and Nick immediately checks their direction of movement before leading the team straight to the ambush point. As expected, the herd starts to emerge from the snow-covered bushes. Gunshots ring out almost simultaneously, taking down the one. On the white snow, only their scattered carcasses remain. A precise operation, leaving no chance for escape. At another position, a hunter spots the silhouette of a wild boar lurking among the trees. Not giving it a chance to escape, a bullet strikes the beast, and it collapses instantly. Moments later, gunfire erupts from other positions, signaling more victories for the team. All threats from the monstrous herd are swiftly eliminated, restoring silence to the harsh, snowy mountains. A chase on the Moroccan hillside is reaching its climax. The hunting team arrived early, spreading out to surround the hill. The pack of hunting dogs immediately scatters to track down traces of the prey. In less than 10 minutes, a signal sounds, and moments later, a wild boar darts past Henry's line of sight. Without hesitation, a barrage of gunfire erupts, cutting off the bull's escape route. Continuing to follow the remaining tracks, Henry moves along the hillside, peering intently through his binoculars. Suddenly, a large, fat wild boar appears, weaving through the bushes on the opposite side. Waiting for its body to fully emerge from the foliage, Henry swiftly pulls the trigger. The gunshot echoes, and the boar collapses on the spot, unable to take another step. Another victory is claimed, and a formidable threat is eliminated. At another spot on the hillside, a hunter suddenly spots a wild boar charging straight toward him. Just as it bursts through the bushes ahead, the gunshot rings out almost simultaneously. The clean, precise shot brings the beast down before it can escape. The threat to crops and the safety of the locals has been completely neutralized.
Wild boars not only threaten our crops, but also pose a life or death challenge to us, the professional hunters. With their explosive reproductive rate, they devastate millions of acres each year, pushing nature to the brink of chaos. In this urgent situation, we're not just hunting wild boars, but protecting the ecological balance. If we don't act now, what will become of our environment? Stay tuned until the end to witness the fate of these savage beasts. At 5 a.m., we enter the territory taken over by the wild boars. Each member quickly splits up, calculating every step carefully. The hunting dogs, once released, immediately catch the scent and signal the presence of the prey. Upon receiving the signal, I rush forward. Oh, it's here! Too fast, it notices and tries to escape. But just as it makes its move, boom! A perfect shot halts its escape entirely. We can't afford to underestimate the cunning of these wild boars. 1 second of carelessness can lead to unimaginable consequences. We continue our search, tracking new targets. After a short distance, figures lurking in the fields are visible and cannot escape our sight. I adjust my focus, aim carefully, and squeeze the trigger. The shot rings out as expected, sending the boars into a panic. But it's too late. After a series of precise shots, all that's left are their bodies lying on the ground. Moments later, more dark shapes appear, unaware of the battle that just took place. Once again, our sharp shooting skills are put to the test. With each precise shot, honed through countless fierce battles, we don't give them a chance to escape. From another angle, an alarm sounds. It seems the boars are trying to flee after the recent commotion. John immediately gets the order, quickly moving to block their escape route. The boar, unaware of John's approach, becomes an easy target. With swift and decisive action, John lines up the shot. Perfect! The bullet strikes true. Other boars nearby don't escape the perfect control John exerts. The area is quickly secured. As the battle grows fiercer, new targets appear. With years of experience and a deep understanding of wild boar behavior, we are fully prepared. The timing and positions have been carefully calculated, awaiting the right moment to strike. Before long, this area is cleared, leaving no trace of the marauding beasts. Not a second to spare, we move toward the edge of the field where the wild boars are likely hiding. Sure enough, they emerge. I line up my shot, the bullet instantly speeding towards its target. Nice! The feeling of victory floods in. It's almost unbelievable how perfectly the shot landed. Despite knowing how slippery these creatures can be, even the most decisive moves can't always stop their speed and agility. A few of them manage to dart into the dense forest nearby, narrowly escaping the chase. The hunt continues, and we deploy all available resources and advanced gear to launch a new strategy. Every position is meticulously calculated based on the boar's known hiding habits. Soon, the targets begin to appear. The rifles are ready, no room for error. A shot rings out, and the boar drops instantly. Simultaneously, from all sides, gunfire erupts, marking our absolute dominance. A flawless battle, everything under control, every step calculated perfectly.